Downright fierce. Downright fierce. Downright fierce.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Downright Fierce Gaming, America's most flaky podcast. Our bad. My name is Josh Asensio. With me is
Tristan Haynes
and
Andrew Kirkendall.
Andrew Facekicker. Kirkendall, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic.
It is awesome to have you on the show.
It's nice to be here. Had to flex those executive producer credits at some point, right?
It's true. It's true. We've been scolded for the past hour or so about how we've been running the podcast, and I can assure you that because we don't want to be hit anymore, that we'll be better. We'll be better. We promise. Anyways, Andrew, are you ready? Are you gonna do that with me? Can we all do it together?
Yeah, sure.
You can. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Here it is. We did it! We did it, guys! Like family. That's what families do.
I don't want to know what your family does.
That's a weird family, man.
Oh, dude, my family's the best. Anytime the news comes on, we scream and we go, yeah, news! News! You know, every time. You should see my grandma do it. Fierce News is, of course, brought to you by Pomade and Tonic. First thing is, thanks to the biggest nerds on the internet, we may have learned what the PS5's code name is going to be. Hidden in the code for the list of platforms in the Unreal Engine 4's backend is a mention of a platform called Erebus. E-R-E-B-U-S. First on this list is the PS4, Xbox, Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, Switch, other, and then Erebus. So the reason why people are thinking it could be PS5 is because Erebus is a Greek deity that was one of the first 5 beings in existence.
Well, why do they even bother when it's just going to be called PS5?
That's true, but Erebus 5 beings. The last 3 PlayStation releases have been Greek-themed code names as well. Some believe that this could also be the new model of the PS4 rather than a new generation. In similar news, here's a lady who can use the same logic to prove that Monster Energy is the devil.
Look at your M closely. There's a gap right here in the letter M. It's never connected. So you go into Hebrew. The letter Vav is also the number 6. Short top, long tail. Short top, long tail. You could have here in Hebrew 666 on the can.
Hail Satan?
Yep. I think we caught you on that Hail Satan part of that. Okay, maybe it wasn't as funny as I thought it would be, but I'm pretty damn proud of that one. That's because this is kind of reaching, internet nerds. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe. But I feel like, okay, so we know, yes, they're going to be, coming out with the PS5, sure. And Microsoft is going to come out with a new Xbox. But why isn't the Xbox one on there? And we know more about the next gen Xbox than we do about the next gen PlayStation. So I feel like that kind of...
But we don't know what the new Xbox is going to be called.
Well, we know the code name for some kind of Xbox is Scarlet. And the only reason why we know this Erebus thing is because of this.
Is Scarlet listed in that?
No. Other is listed.
Other.
But I don't know. It could be. That'd be cool. Here's the thing. The reason why I wanted to do the story, even though I don't believe it, would be kind of cool to just go back and be like, hey, remember when we were like, Erebus, that's maybe the next PS5, and it turned out to be this thing or whatever. Maybe it's Google's new, platform or something, and we can go back and be like, oh, that's the only reason why I included that.
I promise it's going to be called the PS5.
They will be.
Yeah.
They will be. They don't. You're right. They don't need code words. And actually, well, here's the thing. Then, if it's on that point, it will be the PS5. But with the PS4, it was Project Neo. Actually, with the past, Neo. PlayStation 4 Pro was Neo, and then the other two were Greek names. Never mind. That logic doesn't hold up. Okay. I apologize. Please don't hit me anymore. Please don't hit me anymore. I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, that'd be cool if it happens. Moving on, Remedy Games, the studio behind Alan Wake, Quantum Break, and the upcoming Control, has announced they are working on creating new types of ongoing live multiplayer game experiences and other trending terms. The new team is called Vanguard, and they were announced on Remedy's website as a, quote, small group of people working on small group of people working in an unconventional way with an aim to develop something quickly and independently inside an established organization. Now, I recently dug through the trash of Remedy games. This is something I did recently, and I learned all about their groundbreaking plans. Okay, I know what they're working on. So Vanguard, the new studio, according to Scribbles on Napkins, they're going to be creating an online multiplayer game that is 100% episodic with 0% player control. They're finally taking out all the annoying gameplay parts of their games, like in between.
So they're making TV shows.
Well, no, these are multiplayer experiences. So okay, have you played Alan Wake or Quantum Break? They have like these 20-minute long like scenes, experiences in between the gameplay. And I think what they're doing, they're just taking away all that annoying gameplay, and they're just gonna have the 20-minute long segments that you can watch back to back until you level up your character and unlock more of these segments.
That's just a TV show.
No, it's a multiplayer experience.
Well, if there's no player choice, how is there any player?
Because it's an experience.
Just because other people are doing it doesn't make it an experience.
But it's multiplayer.
It's a walking simulator that they took the walking out of. That's exciting.
That was a funny joke. I enjoyed that.
It's a battle royale game.
It's a battle royale. That's what they're making. They're just making a battle royale. That was also fun riffing. I like that. That was good. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything to discuss on that, so I made a joke. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? Yeah, me neither.
Cool.
They're making not free to play. They're making games as service. I feel like they're like the kid that's late to the that's coming in late in the school year. It's like, hey guys, look, I'm really cool. And they're like, we don't really. No, we're already doing this other thing. Like, you don't know how to be cool in our way, And then they don't hang out with you, and you go out all through middle school and high school without friends, and then you finally learn what it means to be cool. But it's too late because you're already a senior in high school. And who the fuck cares about seniors? Nobody.
Do you need a hug?
God damn it, yes.
It's okay.
Did people call you Remedy in
Face kicker and body hugger. What?
They said people call you Remedy.
No, they call me Vanguard. Well, I called myself Vanguard.
That explains a lot.
Why didn't I have friends? Call me Vanguard.
That's
Josh for sure. So yeah, Mark says, I for one have been looking for more 23-minute format content to consume. Haven't we all? But yeah, that's it. Okay, let's move on to in Nintendo's never-ending quest to bring a billion games to the Switch. They've announced 22 games that will be coming this year and through early 2019. And now, here's a list of games I know nothing about. They are Hyper Light Drifter Special Edition, Towerfall, I actually know about that one, Treasure Stack, Zarvat, Miniko's Night Market, Samurai Gun 2, Bullet Age, The World Next Door, Levelhead, King of the Hat, Untitled Goose Game, Into the Breach, The Messenger, Bastion, I know about that one too, Wasteland 2, Director's Cut, Undertale, okay, 3, Light Fingers, Super Brothers, Sword and Sorcery, EP, that's all one title, Jackbox Party Pack 5, okay, I know several, Transistor, Desert Child, Dragon, Marked for Death. Now I know what it feels like when I talk video games to Jamie. Now I absolutely get it. I could have made up like half of those. Nobody would know.
I'm fairly sure that King of the Hat is made up.
Yeah. That is a real one. King of the Hat. And so is Levelhead.
An Untitled Goose Game.
Actually, that one looks really fun.
Is that by the Duck Game people?
I think it is you're talking about the one where like you bother the gardener?
Oh, no.
No. So yeah, this is
okay. Yeah, I know
you play as a goose and you bother a guy who's just trying to garden, and you got to get away from any of these like little micro objectives. It actually looks kind of funny.
Yeah, still is hat
fun
and stuff.
Yeah, but Untitled Goose Game.
I feel like if you have to pitch something called Untitled Goose Game and you don't immediately get fired, your bosses are too nice.
That's true. I feel like that's a boss pitched game. Like, let's just call it a Untitled Goose Game. Am I right? Yeah, that's great, boss. Oh, that's so good. You're so handsome. So Mark Mayfield says, hold up. This sounds like the list of games you get on the 10,001 consoles. Yeah. Like
Half of
level-headed.
them are already available on the Wii U.
And then like Levelhead sounds like Mario. King of the Hat. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez. I actually didn't know that Jackbox Party Pack 5 was coming out. This is how I found out that it was one of the games coming to Switch.
Sword and Sorcery EP sounds like a new record by Trivium.
That was good. Fist bump. Oh yeah, and then I want to say I could have made half of these names up, and Jamie would be like, "Oh wow, a sequel to Samurai Gun? that sounds great," because she humors me a lot.
Well, she should.
Yep. That's cool though. I mean, hey, and more games. Bring everything to the Switch. Everything you possibly can. You know, like the more the better. I feel, and because the Switch is just such a great portable console. I mean, like I don't want to play any of these at home. I want to play them on the go. You know, there's certain games like I got the Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate thing, and awesome. That's a home game. You know, I mean, maybe I'll play it on the go, but you know, if I'm playing Undertale or Light Fingers, I think I said Fighters earlier, but it's Light Fingers.
Light Fingers.
I want to on the go.
Transistor is by the people that made Bastion. That's a good game, so you should pick that one up. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Moving on, Sony has finally addressed one of the worst things about the PlayStation Network.
You can't change your name?
Nope, it's not that, unfortunately. That's what I started like. Don't get excited. It's not the ability to change your name. You're still gonna have to be stuck with Bong Ripper 69.
I wish that was my name.
Are you Bong Ripper 69?
Maybe.
Make sure you send a friend request to Facekicker here. It's not Facekicker on PlayStation Network. It is Bong Ripper 69. They revised the search function. Now it's actually coherent. Now you can, because before it was, I don't know if you guys search for things often on the PlayStation Network. Okay.
Never.
The way you do it is you have to scroll down through the entire alphabet to find the letter that you want. And let's say you're looking for Last of Us. Scroll all the way down to L. And then A is going to be at the top. Thank God. Oh, no. But now I have to scroll all the way down for S. All the way down for T for each letter. Why? No idea.
That's a horrible way to do it.
It's terrible.
It's massively inefficient.
And they finally fixed it, and it's the keypad. That's all it is. It's just the keypad. And it's fixed. They did it.
You want to say good job, but then you think about how long it took them to make that simple change.
Well, and here's what I was wondering too. I wonder how many ladders it has to go up to get approved. Because think about it. I mean, that's a major aesthetic change. I mean, it's a major part of the network, and it's not just the programming that needs to go into it, which I'm sure that's not the difficult part. It's the approval from everybody high up. So you've got all these things happening right now. You've got Spider-Man coming out. You've got they released they celebrated their 500 million console release with a limited run of super expensive consoles. And they've got all these things going on. Meanwhile, I bet you some Joe Schmo's like, can we change the search, please? Like, shut up. We got all this. Can we please just change the search? Shut up. Fuck. All right, fine. This week we'll change. Thank you. You know, that's how I imagine that going in my head. I don't know what voice that was, Tristan. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that, Tristan. I don't know what voice that was, Tristan. I'm sorry. I was riffing, and I just went with it. I committed to it. Committed to the joke.
It was a good voice.
I committed to the joke.
Proud of you.
Here's something that's not a joke. I have potentially terrible news. If you are listening to this and not sitting down, I recommend you do that right now. According to producer Motohiro Akubo, I did that right.
Sure you did.
Sure. Yeah.
If Soul Calibur 6 is a flop, we may never see another game in the series.
Darn.
Now,
oh no.
Don't. This is Soul Calibur. This is the backbone of the fighting genre. This is the greatest fighting game.
It's definitely
ever.
Not. It's definitely not.
Name one better.
All of them.
Name one better.
Clay Fighter.
It's the greatest fighting game ever, and it is in trouble, y'all. It's in trouble, y'all. In an interview with DualShockers, Okubo said, quote, "The first thing is that the IP itself of the Soul Calibur franchise had low expectations from the company. It was actually facing a crisis of maybe disappearing. It took time for me to convince the company." He went on to say, quote, "We don't want to blackmail the users by saying that it could be the last one. But as it is, yes, it could be." Oh, God! That's the worst way to find out. Are you kidding me? Like, why would you say something so horrible? Like, by the way, we don't know if this happened, but it totally is. Oh, God. Oh, that's like, that reminds me of like the time my parents sat me down, like, "Look, son, we don't want to tell you that you being born has put an incredible strain on our marriage, and that as a result, we're getting a divorce." But as it is, yes, that's exactly what's happening. We have to save the Soul Calibur, y'all.
Well, they did do something smart with Soul Calibur when they added Geralt.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they're really good with the crossovers. Although I agree,
Yeah,
that
but it is
some
kind
of
of
the
a,
other ones,
it is still gimmicky,
yeah.
right? Its mechanics probably won't be as fleshed out as the other characters, and
They typically aren't. I mean,
so it's a cool gimmick, but within the actual game itself, it's not going to be very interesting.
yeah, but then that's just one character. The other ones are so balanced, and I'm so good at them. It's the only game I'm good at with fighting. It's
Unless
the only
Geralt
one.
literally cuts off someone's head and then goes and sleeps with a sorceress, it's not going to matter.
That's his finishing move. That's his. That's his over. What is it? That's his Soul Calibur. I don't know. That's his. Caliber Break or Soul Break. That's his Soul Break move.
Sounds like it's gonna break your soul. It's tell enough.
Dude, I'm gonna buy 2 copies. Like,
It's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
it might be. It might be. I don't want this to go away. I don't know. Okay, so jokes aside, it's incredibly balanced. It is the only like weapon fighting game that has that level of balance to it. It's a staple. It's been a staple for years. I mean, all the way back to Soul Calibur 1, you know, arcades. Like, it's an established thing, and it you know, I'm fine waiting every 7 years. I'm not saying let's have a new Soul Calibur game every couple of years, but like,
I feel like all fighting games have kind of been on a decline since the decline of arcades. That's really the best genre for a fighting game is in an arcade. And when people
That's
don't
true.
go to arcades, you're going to lose a lot of that fun.
oh my God, that's how you save it.
Barcades.
You don't. Yeah, you don't just sell
Bring
it.
back arcades. Give everybody a roll of quarters and say, "I'll see you after the movie."
Well, you don't. Well, you don't. You know.
You can go watch Remedy movies
Yeah.
and then play Soul Calibur.
Multiplayer experiences, Tristan.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. No, but that's it. Don't just release it for consoles. It should also come out in arcade, and then have it go to barcades. And then, I mean, we're already seeing a resurgence in arcades. This is just like back in the day when it was freaking. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. Yezi, it is an actual live stream. Yeah, hi. I just, for some reason, the chat didn't pop up right away. But shit, now I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, we're seeing a resurgency in arcades, and this could be like the days when, you know, you go into an arcade, you play Mortal Kombat, and like, oh my God, I want to bring this home, and you just go buy the home console. So now they've sold 2 things.
I mean, it may help drive some numbers, but it's definitely not going to save it.
We gotta save it, y'all.
Do we?
Yeah, I like it so much.
Okay, we'll play the ones that you have.
I didn't buy the last one.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Because I don't have anybody to play with. Nobody will play with me because I'm too good. I'm serious about that. I told you both about that. Like, actually, I don't think I told you about this.
Is that what you told the girls in high school?
I'm so good. Just let me do it.
Vanguard?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
I'm so good. So good. Oh, I'm so good. I am so good at Soul Calibur. I have the same wager that I do with virtually everybody. I say, first, let me play you in one round just to kind of gauge where you are. And I can tell when somebody's holding back. And then I wager every single thing I own. Everything. My house, my car, all my systems, everything.
That's overplaying the pot.
What do you mean?
Well, if you have a bet against somebody and you have a chance to bet $1 or $1 million, do you think that they're just going to go, yeah, I've played this game like 3 times, I'll absolutely bet $1 million?
Well, I mean, no, but I don't bet for everything they have. I offer everything I have if they can beat me.
I could beat you.
In Soul Calibur.
Yes.
You about to win yourself a house?
You might. I think we're gonna have to play some Soul Calibur right now.
Episode
done.
I'll warn you that I don't play fair.
Oh
When
no!
you think you're gonna win, I'm literally gonna kick you in the face and then beat you in the game.
So moving on, yet another person. Actually, this is a great transition. Yet another person proving how right I am about the future of gaming has stepped forward. Yves Guillemot, Ubisoft CEO. In an interview with IGN, he says he believes that the future of home gaming will arrive via streaming, like the great Josh Asensio has foretold. He said, quote, technology is actually going in that direction. The machines will be more powerful and the system to transfer data will be more efficient. So at one point, we will have a better experience streaming something than having to buy a machine and change the machine regularly. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, you should always listen to me. Because I am always right. That is also why you should go to patreon.com/downrightfierce. And there was supposed to be text that popped up, and I wrote that down. Should go to text in parentheses. And I was going to click a thing, and then it was going to pop up patreon.com/downrightfierce and contribute to the podcast so we can continue to bring you always right information.
Are you going to click on the thing now?
Did you make the text?
I didn't make the text. But
So that hurts.
That's evidence of you being right.
no, but
I
I
do have
was
some
right
thoughts on
in
this,
not
though.
doing that.
So I'm a little concerned that the U.S. could get really pushed out of this streaming market just because we don't have the infrastructure to keep up with internet speeds.
Oh, wait, hold on. No. The U.S. is the best when it comes to internet speeds. Other countries...
No, it's
No,
not.
it's
Are you kidding
super
me?
terrible.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought... Wait, hold on. I'm not one of those America's the best at everything guys.
Internet speeds in Europe are vastly faster.
I thought it was the complete opposite.
No, they're not only faster, they're cheaper.
Yeah.
But there are some
Because
countries...
they have competition.
Like, isn't it like China or Japan or something where China. It's China. China, the internet speeds are terrible.
Well, because they...
That's one.
They throttle the internet. But no, Europe in particular has much, much faster internet.
Really?
And far cheaper.
God damn,
And like
I had
South
no
Korea
idea.
and stuff, they have.
South Korea is super fast. Japan is, I imagine, super fast. I don't know.
Oh shit! That would explain why, and maybe in Japan it's fast too, because maybe that's why they did the Resident Evil cloud-based game over there before they did that here.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
comparatively, our internet is very slow. I mean, we're starting to get some gigabit fiber, but it's not everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So, shit. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily even the internet speeds. It's more the latency, which is different, right? I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm a tech guy. I know how to build a computer, but I may not know what all the ones and zeros mean. You know, like, so I'm pretty sure that, especially when you look at things like PlayStation Now, that was the biggest issue. Like, it told me, oh yeah, your internet speeds are totally fine, and I knew that they were, but it was still, I was still
Mark
experiencing
comes with
latency.
the knowledge. FCC
Describe.
report concludes U.S. internet speeds are among the worst in the developed world.
We're not number one.
We are like number 90.
Hey, what were you saying?
No, wait, hold on.
before this?
I remember where we were number one now. We're
worst?
the highest in
In prison
in the
population.
worst. No, but we were the number one. Okay, Mark, Scribe, help me out with this. Weren't we number one in as far as like the percentage of population with internet?
People with internet
I
in
think
their home.
so.
But
Yeah,
but
we did it!
dial-up counts for that.
That's true. God, is there still dial-up?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you still get a list of phone numbers and dial them manually from your Windows? thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I had some really good ones. I had a list of like all the best, fastest ones. I got. Oh my god, dude, this one gets 4 kilobytes per second. It's so fast. I don't know. Okay, well, so let's go back to your concern then. So you're thinking that we'll get pushed out. I mean, the U.S. market for video games though is still, that's going to be the highest for.
It is, and that's why that concerns, because people aren't going to want to play if they can't get the streaming to work right. They're going to go back to, I'm going to download or buy the full game and not try to stream it.
Sure, but I mean, in that sense, like I feel like, if these companies start seeing that trend, then they're not going to. I feel like they're waiting for us to catch up. Maybe this technology is possible. I mean, it is possible. We've already seen that in Japan with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard for the Switch, the cloud-based game. But they didn't even try to do that over here. So
because I know our internet sucks.
Yeah. So I would imagine then that we would see a situation like that where these companies don't necessarily just come out with the service. It's not just automatically, okay, now we're doing this. It's, well, let's have the next Horizon Zero Dawn. That's going to come out on this cloud-based thing, as well as physical.
I would really like for it to work, but I also know that sometimes the internet doesn't work. And I still want to play games when the internet doesn't work.
That's true.
We're also going to run into the problem that we have data caps.
Yes,
So we're
that's a
gonna get
big
charged
problem.
out the ass. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Mayfield says, we're number 3 by users total, 50-ish or some shit by percentage. That's false comparison because those micronations count. Okay. Okay, so... All right, so... I mean, it's just like Netflix, though. When Netflix goes out, you don't have Netflix. When the internet goes out, you don't have Netflix. You have to resort to your old Blu-rays and your old DVDs and stuff. So, I mean, it's not necessarily that... I think it's going to be the biggest deal to rely on these servers, assuming they're as reliable as Netflix.
We just need better internet.
I agree, and I think you're right. I think that's why it's not out yet. But do you still have concerns about this as a future? So imagine then we're at the point of the internet.
I have concerns about it being slower to come out than it should be because of internet speeds.
Okay, well, because that would be different. Because I was gonna say, like, if we have the internet speeds now to make it easy to do Netflix type streaming.
Sure.
Let's say 20 years or whatever in the future, we get to the point where we can have Netflix style gaming. You would be okay with that as long as the internet can accommodate for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think as long as it is functional, for sure.
Yeah. And Mark Manfield says 5G is coming. Don't despair.
I've heard a lot of things that said that 5G is just kind of overblown hype. It's not really that much faster.
I learned what G meant like a couple months ago.
Generation.
So, I learned that. I had no idea. All right.
I learned that today.
You didn't know that either?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Moving on. Streets of Rage 4 has been announced. Did you guys see this? Mm-hmm. You guys see this? You heard about this? You see it?
No.
Streets of Rage 4. Yeah, it's happening. Did you guys play the original ones? 1, 2, or 3?
Very little.
Oh, man. I had it for Sega. I had Streets of Rage 2. The first one, I think, that was the one with the kangaroo, I want to say. It was weird. It was a weird game.
I definitely didn't play a game with a kangaroo.
It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, but... you go back and you play Double Dragon, and that game doesn't really hold up. They're coin eaters. That's all they are.
Yeah.
But Streets of Rage was built for consoles, and it was fantastic. I mean, the mechanics still hold up today. It's still fun to play today. And it's being developed by Lizard Cube. The studio made Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap, which is another game I've actually played recently. It's remake of this old Nintendo game where they basically just it's the exact same game, but they replace all the graphics and with these like hand-drawn really, really beautiful things. You can actually switch back and forth. It's really, really cool how they did that. But it's going to be a direct continuation of the series, and we'll have hand-drawn visuals from Lizard Cube, so it's going to look like Wonder Boy, alongside new gameplay. No release date and platforms have been announced. And I don't know.
I saw screenshots of it. It looks really nice.
Yeah. I mean, and the style, I mean, it's kind of like it almost looked like Cuphead. As far as animations go, like fluid hand-drawn animations, and you really don't see that anymore. And I think that's really exciting to to happen. I'm looking forward to it. Moving on, Shenmue 3.
Oh Jesus!
Shenmue 3 has a release date. Why do I feel like I've said that before?
Because you have.
I feel like I've said that before.
Is this a release date for the release date?
No, this is just a flat-out release date. It's been announced at Gamescom that it will be coming out on August 27th, 2019 for the PS4 and PC.
Can't wait.
It's going to suck so bad.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen, but I feel like this is like a No Man's Sky situation where it's going to come out, and it has so much hype around it, and it's just going to be garbage. It's just going to be... shit. Shit. You really don't think it's gonna happen though?
If I agree that if it does happen, that it'll be something that they've rushed and doesn't work and is just a giant pile of garbage.
how big do you think that the day one patch is gonna be?
It's gonna be about half the size of the
Would you play it though?
Yeah, I'll play it.
Have you ever played the other ones?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't.
I haven't played them.
I definitely won't buy it day one.
No.
I'll wait and see.
Okay, so let's say it comes out and it gets a score of 6. Not terrible, not broken, but just not
six.
not,
Six
it's
would be
really
terrible.
bad.
6 would be terrible.
6 would be terrible
for the hype. That
for the hype. Yeah,
that game. A 6 would, you might as well set it on fire.
Yeah. But how long would it take for you to buy it?
At a 6?
At a 6.
At least 6 months for them to work out kinks and throw out patches and.
Well, what
See
if
if
it's
they
not
can
even
try to fix
patches?
it.
What if it's just like a shit game? Are you like? I'm trying to figure out like, is there a point where you just like, no, I'm not going to buy it at all?
Oh, for sure. I didn't buy No Man's Sky for the same reason.
And now that game is awesome.
Well,
Now,
I heard good things.
yeah, it's pretty solid now. I like it. I like it a lot.
So like, sometimes you get bugs and glitches and things that can ruin the game for some people. Those don't generally bother me. Like when with Kingdom Come Deliverance, there was a ton of weird bugs and weird shit would happen all the time. But the game was so fun and interesting that I didn't care.
I mean, yeah, there's so many open betas and not open betas, early access. There's so many early access games that I got really, really hooked on. I learned to forgive bugs and stuff, and I those don't bother me as long as they're not game crashing. Those don't bother me at all. Like Skyrim and all those games, like I don't care that, you know, actually a Mirror's Edge. We were just talking about Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I kicked a dude's head through glass and it just got stuck there and his limbs were just all flopping.
To me, those
all
are
over the
always
place.
just
I love
hilarious.
when
Great.
that happens.
That's
Like when you
cool.
started Fallout New Vegas and the doctor's head is just spinning in a circle. I'm like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
What's not to love about this?
Exactly. So I mean, I understand why, you know, they need to receive a slightly lower score because of those things, but they don't bother me at all. No, I'm specifically saying if this game was just shit, it just wasn't good. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't shit, but it was just not interesting.
Just wait for it to come out on PS Plus as a free game.
That's the question. How long do you think before it's on PS Plus?
1 year.
1 year?
If it gets a 6, for sure.
Yeah.
That is true. Although Metal Gear 5 came out on PS Plus, that was a shocker. That was fucking awesome. You know,
That is a great
Destiny
game.
2 is coming out, and
It's already
God of
out.
War remastered. Yeah. See, okay, so it's already out, right? When I was writing the news, I saw that it was coming out early in the UK, and I have a VPN, which, you know, confuses a lot of systems to thinking you're like in Hawaii or whatever. And I noticed that mine made different sensors or whatever think I was in the UK, and I noticed on my PS4 that I saw the Destiny thing there. I'm like, I get Destiny 2 early because it thinks I'm in the UK, but no, that's actually
Do you
not,
think that they added Destiny 2 just as a way to get you to buy the DLCs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because they're doing a 1 month or 1 week or something like that free trial of the DLC, the Forsaken thing. And Mark Mayfield says 1 year. For the
He also
Shenmue.
says Destiny 2 is shit.
That's just wrong. That's just wrong.
It's all right.
It's a 6. No, I'd say it's a 7. I would go so far as to say it's a 7. It is a good game. It is enjoyable. The mechanics are sound. The post-game stuff, I have no idea because I didn't even bother. I just wanted the story, and it has a good story. I wouldn't say it's great. I'm not saying I don't even remember it, but I remember being intrigued by it while I was playing it. It was like, this is enjoyable. I want to find out what happens. I enjoyed the story. Again, the gameplay mechanics were solid. Graphics are beautiful. What else more do you need from a game? It's
I've
a
never
7.
played either of them.
Really?
Neither one.
I was hooked on Destiny 1, and then I realized I was in an abusive relationship. Out of context, I think that sounds really terrible, but it's like two separate things. But no, it was an abusive relationship because I did not enjoy playing the game at all, but I felt compelled to because it was always doing that carrot on a stick thing, and I was just like, oh, I have to play today because I have to get the bonus, and if I don't get the bonus, then I can't get the gun that does pretty math for me, because that's all that game is. It's pretty math. You press a button, it's like, oh, look at all these numbers, just pretty math. But Destiny 2 had a great story, and I got all I needed out of it. And then Mark is bringing it back is saying post game is where it deserves the shit rating. I agree, and actually most of the gaming community does too. That they still haven't fixed that gameplay loop, but the story, fun.
Yeah,
it's
All
good,
right, I'll
and
take
it's
your word.
free now.
Yeah, it's
Do you have
worth playing
PlayStation
through
Plus?
for free.
No.
You have PlayStation Plus? Yeah, you already played Destiny.
Yeah,
2.
I owned it.
Okay.
I was stupid and bought it.
I got it for free with my 1080 over
Nice.
there. Yeah, and now I got it for free with my 4. Moving on! Saints Row the Third announced for Nintendo Switch. That's it. It's coming out next year.
It's
That's a
interesting
really
that they
fun
went
game.
that one
Yeah.
instead of Saints Row 4.
What?
It's interesting that they are releasing that one instead of Saints Row 4.
So here's what I'm thinking. I feel like this is going to push the Switch as far as it can go, and that 4 would just be, it can't handle 4.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, 4 is...
Too many giant dildos?
It's the number of dildos is staggering. It does not have the computational power to register all those dildos. But I mean, the fourth one added the superpowers and stuff.
I think
that wasn't
3
in the
was
third,
better
right?
received.
Yeah,
And 3 was better received. Yeah,
I liked
4
3 better. I
Really?
liked 4.
I liked 3 better, I think. Yeah.
I liked 4.
Did you play Get Out of Hell?
Yes.
No. I
love
tried
that
to and
one.
it
yes,
kept
it was
crashing.
fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Those games are just so silly that it's ridiculous.
Well, you know why they went the silly route.
Because
Is
they tried to be GTA and they
Yeah,
failed.
it didn't work.
Well,
yeah.
the thing is, they tried to be GTA and they were made fun of. They were trying to be serious and they were made fun of so bad that they're like, oh yeah, no, we meant to do that. No, let's change some of the. Here's Saints Row 2. It's even funnier, you guys. It's even funnier.
Yeah. Don't laugh at me anymore.
Surprises. Mark Mayfield says surprised to see Saints Row on the Switch. I thought Nintendo wouldn't want to do with that franchise. So,
It is a little surprising.
a little bit, but consider the fact that Doom was on there.
Doom doesn't let you slap people in the face with giant dildos.
That is true, but have you also seen all these Japanese big titty anime games that are coming out for the Switch? I have, because I get my Switch games
Because you subscribe to them.
Well, no, I check a list of games that come out for the Switch on a regular basis.
For the big titty anime games?
No. But it has virtually every game on there, and I research each one to see which ones I want to get.
Research them.
Yeah.
How many big titty anime games do you have on your Switch currently?
One. Because the gameplay looks really good.
I'm sure it does.
It really, really does. It's really bouncy. But no, there's a lot of, kind of game. Outlast. 1 and 2.
Big titty anime game right there.
Dude, there's floppy dicks in both of those games.
Yeah.
Mutilated dicks. I mean,
Yeah, I guess. Solid point.
so and I'm Nintendo hasn't. I mean, yes, they usually stick with the family friendly stuff or release the teen rated games, and if they go M, it's usually just violence, which everybody's okay with, I guess.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But look back on Nintendo's past. I'm sure they were saying the same thing, as Saints Row as they were about Conker's Bad Fur Day. I'm sure there were some podcasts out there like, I'm amazed that they're bringing tits and beer to the Nintendo Switch with such a beloved character. And you got games like what other games were like graphic that came out for N64?
Well, they did Mad World. That was pretty graphic.
Oh yeah, for the Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it.
Perfect Dark.
Perfect
That's violence,
Dark.
though.
Perfect Dark was...
That's Xbox.
Hmm,
That
no.
was still the N64. Yeah. Mark Berryfield says this is fun watching Josh dig his way out of the BT anime game hole. What's BT?
Big
Big
tits.
titties.
Big titty. I should know that.
What is this game called that you've downloaded?
I don't even remember. I just the one with the big tits in it. It actually it looked really interesting. It's like it's something about like the end of the world, and it has similar mechanics as Majora's Mask. So like like there's a timer counting down, and then you can do certain things that trigger a reversal time thing, and it looked good. I haven't played it.
Oh, this is one of those ones where you just like play through the story a bunch to unlock all the different cutscenes.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't
I
even
think
tried
I
it.
I don't know how that works. If
Yeah.
you need porn, just get porn.
I don't even need porn.
He's got his big titty anime games for that.
Exactly. Supermassive Games. Not big titty anime.
Massive titty game.
Supermassive announced that they are working on a new horror series called the Dark Pictures Anthology. I am so fucking excited for this. Now, Supermassive Games, that's the guys from Until Dawn and The Outpatient and, so these guys, I don't know if you guys know this about them. These guys were filmmakers who wanted to get into the video game industry, and they wanted to bring their experience with horror films into the video game industry. And Until Dawn received so well. I love the game. If you guys out there haven't played it, you have to play Until Dawn. It is a fantastic game, very well made. And they want to continue doing similar experiences. And it actually sounds like this is basically an announcement saying like, hey, we've got a whole bunch of games coming out very soon, and it's all going to be connected reality, kind of like Annabelle and all the Conjuring and all that, whatever. So these are being published by Bandai Namco, and like Until Dawn, they say, quote, your decisions, your reactions to horror thrown at you will determine who will and who won't survive. Each game in the anthology will feature a new cast of characters. The first game is called The Man of Medan and will release sometime in 2019. I saw the trailer for this. It looks scary as fuck. It's like divers, like they're like diving down to this crashed plane, and that is the one area of horror that still always gets me, even when it's not a scary game. Like playing what's that diving game, Subnautica. Getting into the deep areas scares the shit out of me. And I'm a diver. I've been diving since I was 12. That still scares the shit out of me.
That's probably why.
It's just the vast openness of that. No. But yeah, that's coming, and that's gonna be fucking awesome. And I forgot the name of the guy who was in there.
I feel like now every horror game should just be on VR, because that's the best way to do it.
I don't know, man. Have you ever done horror in VR?
No. That would be the scariest way to do it. Me watching something on a screen is never going to freak me out as much as...
It's way too intense. I'm telling you, man.
Nah.
It's way too intense. It's...
Maybe for you.
Horrifying. Or I'm going to get you on video. I'm going to get you on video crying from fear.
Good luck.
Maybe not crying, but air punching and kicking out of fear. I'm telling you, man. It's Brandon Gigantor, host of the podcast. He doesn't get scared with anything. Like, he freaking just whatever is everything. We played Paranormal Activity in VR. Not even the scariest game to ever come out for VR. Scared the crap out of.
Sounds like fun. Yeah. That's how it should be, though. The VR should be to scare the crap out of you.
It's too much, though. So scary. Okay, so now we're moving on to Cyberpunk 2077. So we've got a lot we want to talk about with this one. First of all, I want to say I love the Deus Ex games. They're like some of my favorite games. One of my favorite series, and this looks like the Deus Ex game that I always wanted. Everything that I love about Deus Ex, and then done coherently by an amazing company. Have you guys played the new Deus Ex games?
Yeah. The Mankind Divided, it didn't grab me in as much as the one before
flawed.
it.
It's flawed.
The story just kind of falls a little flat. And
right.
No, yeah, I agree.
The Adam Jensen character is just kind of very boring.
Yeah, he's extremely boring.
I mean, I like the whole premise of the games, and the gameplay is fun.
Well, it's the little things that, they're promising in this game that they kind of do in Deus Ex. Like, one of my favorite Deus Ex experiences was there was this guy who I was trying to prove that he was the murderer. I had all the evidence, and then it had me present the evidence and give explanations why. I'm like, shit, I forgot why, though, that this evidence fits in there. I just grabbed the items that were highlighted and I brought it out.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and he's like, yeah, you don't have shit on me. I'm like, wham! And I just like knocked him out and then like arrested him. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. Like I think he had like some evidence on him or something. Basically, it was mission completed still. I'm like, fuck off. And I just hit him and then I'm good. And it's that kind of stuff that like that freedom to approach a situation from different angles that I love.
Yeah, it was always fun that they gave you multiple paths to end. Like, you could do it without ever killing anyone, or
Which
you go
was the
super
fun in
hard
that.
to try to do it without ever being seen. Or you could just go in and fucking murder everybody.
That's what I did. That's the most fun for me. I mean, I
like stealth.
Yeah. You see, I usually do the thing that a lot of people do. I will start stealthy, but I don't try that hard. I don't want to sit and wait for a guy to go on the same path all the way around over and over again. So I will take a lot of chances, and when I get caught, then everybody dies.
I usually end up doing that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I'll go back after I've beaten the entire game,
Yeah.
and then like, okay, let me really try to figure this out. But that first run through, I'm like, fuck these people.
Yeah, yeah. So here's everything we know about Cyberpunk. It's a first-person, open-world, sci-fi RPG based on the 1988 tabletop role-playing game Cyberpunk 2020. There's no release window yet. We only know that it's coming to PC, although they do say that they are going to attempt to bring it to this generation of consoles. I think that maybe there's a chance that it's just going to be one of the, like a GTA 5, where it comes out on this generation, but the really good version comes out on the next generation. We got to see 48 minutes of gameplay, which looked amazeballs. The game will feature diverse romance options all across the spectrum. I think you could fuck robots, y'all, and that'd be pretty cool.
Well, I think everyone is somewhat a robot in this game.
Big titty anime robot.
Hold on, let me...
Well, yeah, like
There we go,
in that
oiled it up.
48-minute gameplay trailer, I think you like start off with like a one-night stand leaving your room.
So I skipped around a lot in that trailer, and then I watched more of the dialogue options and the final conflict part of it. Tell me more about this.
It was very short. So like after they did that whole mission to save that naked chick out of the tub,
Missed that one. Okay.
That's the very beginning.
I was looking a lot more towards because a lot of that gameplay was like slowly walking around and observing like the world. I'm like, okay, yes, it's pretty, but I want to see where like the meat of it is. So I
they
went
got
on
into
to
it a
all
little
the-
bit in the beginning. They have their own version of bullet time. I forget what the hell.
Yeah,
it's called.
yeah,
It was
I saw
some weird name. It's just bullet time.
Yeah.
They pull
Thanks,
this chick out of a
Rockstar.
tub, shove a tube in her head, and it's like, all right, she needs to.
Love that move.
They plug into her brain or whatever,
Oh yeah.
and then like the
Sex.
paramedics / SEAL Team 6 shows up and takes her away in a helicopter or whatever, and then you wake up the next day and there's some dude leaving the main chick's room, and she's like, "Beat it, nerd." It's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
What I was really impressed with was that the music in there.
Yeah, very very Blade Runner-y.
Yeah, and like they wrote full songs for this game, not just soundtrack, but full-on songs.
Yeah.
That's
No,
kind of
I mean,
impressive.
I'm it's the whole theme of it. I feel like there aren't enough really good games that are set in the cyberpunk type Blade Runner-ish, arena. I keep coming back to it, but Mirror's Edge, it kind of got there, but it didn't really show the grimy, it's cyber, it's not cyberpunk,
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the really cool aesthetic is that it's also, it's really depressing and everybody's life sucks, but it's also very bright and shiny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
super colorful and neon everywhere.
Yeah.
It's really awesome that it's like set in the daytime, because usually that whole genre is always like, oh, it's stormy, it's always dark, like because of the like based
That's
on like
true. I didn't
noir.
even
Yeah.
really think about that, but
So-
yeah, you're right. Yeah. What I really enjoyed was the most that I saw out of it, which was the final dialogue tree with the transaction that's going down, and it shows you all the dialogue options, which they keep saying, and they're trying to jam down our throats like this is not necessarily reflective of the final product.
Right.
What we could be facing here is a situation similar to Division, where we see these amazing things, and they're like, oh, look at this, all this awesome stuff we could do, and then it turns out, okay, well, we tried, and we couldn't get it all in one disc. We couldn't, pack it all in one package.
I just don't see that happening with this developer. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll wait until they get it right. I mean, just look at Witcher 3.
That is true. I mean, they will, and what they have already. Another thing I forgot to write down here is what they do have is they have the game from start to finish. So the meat, I mean, the bones are there. They're just they're just making sure everything is fleshed out. But the problem is with things like okay, so the branching dialogue, to have these multiple endings to a situation, that takes up a lot of resources
Sure.
with these games. And if they, if they're working on this and they get halfway through the game, they're like, we're out. We can't fit anymore into one. I don't know how that stuff works. I don't know if it's like fitting onto the disc or fitting onto whatever.
Well, I think that's much less of a concern at this point. Most people don't buy physical media.
No, I mean that's true, but I mean what I'm more specific, because I'm not a game developer. I just know that sometimes they make promises because they think they can do that throughout the entire game, but it turns out that for some reason, whatever the reason is, they can't have that along with everything else that's more important in the game. So the branching dialogue thing, they might have to substitute that for something as basic as multiple characters or something.
I think maybe the first some of the things that they could end up scaling back on is just like when you did the scenes where they're walking through the city, there were so many fucking people.
There's not going to be that many people. Like,
so
there's so many people.
So stuff like that. That's what I mean, is that, they're going to have all of these abilities, all these things you can do, but they have to sacrifice certain things to make it all fit. I don't know if it's fit size-wise, fit processing-wise, or whatever, but they have to make certain sacrifices. And again, I don't know how that's done, but I think that's a great example. That's the first thing that I think is going to go, is it's going to be less busy. But then they're looking at that and they're like, okay, well, this isn't as busy. Well, the city doesn't feel as good now.
If you look at like the first trailers that they gave that were pretty much in the same place that the gameplay trailer was, they almost tripled the number of people in there from the first one to this one. Mm-hmm. It was crazy how many people were in there. And they're telling you that every single one of these people has a full 24-hour cycle of things that they do and places that they go. That's a lot of information.
Yeah,
that is.
So I imagine that would probably be the first thing to get cut, rather than dialogue or choice options. I mean, yes, you have these branching choices, but there's still only a finite number of choices.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, if they can work all of that into one package, then holy crap. But I would hate to see the game suffer. And I don't think it's going to, because, I mean, you look at Witcher, and that game had so many things that you can do, and they balanced it perfectly. And that one, even, they had to scale back, and then they got criticized so hardly for that. And I think that's another reason why they jam it down our throats, saying this isn't reflective of the final product. Because with Witcher, the first thing we saw was the Griffin fight, and the internet, jerky internet guys tore apart that, the reveal of that compared to what came out. And they're like, oh, well, look at this. So when it crashes into a tree, before it had realistic destruction, and now the tree just falls over. Like, look behind you, though, man. There's like cities and fucking grass, and the everything bends and does all these realistic things. Yeah, but that tree, that tree. That's a vertical slice, you fuck.
Yeah, there's so few loading screens in Witcher that it's...
there's going to be none with this.
That's another thing that really, I think, could be something that could be cut. I mean, a lot of people are making promises of no loading screens, but when you have something this big, it's not realistic.
Well, you know what it turns into is disguised loading screens.
Yeah.
It's like Mass Effect.
Elevator,
yeah, exactly. I noticed, what the worst part is about that is, when I learned about that and I started paying attention to it, I realized, wow, later in the game, this elevator just fucking goes forever. That's the worst.
Destiny does a lot of that stuff too, where you're like running through different hallways.
Yep. So I mean, I don't think they'll necessarily get rid of that, but I think that I think it's gonna be disguised. I think that it could be an annoying, cleansing chamber, what am I talking, disinfecting room that does I don't know.
Yeah, there could be a lot of different parts on that. Oh, Chris Stanton joined.
Chris Stanton joined the chat. He says, oh shit, Facekicker, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, heart, 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 heart.
That's my boy.
So I believe in them. I think that they can do it. I am a little bit concerned only because of the Division games like that, where because everybody that has that was there for the gameplay demo and watched it being played, hands-off demo, they're like, oh yeah, this game's amazing. But that's the thing about a vertical slice, it's just a small chunk. Right. You can make a game that has lifelike realistic graphics, and it all takes place in one room, and you're like, oh, look at that, yeah, you're moving around and you could shoot, and when you shoot, their cheek falls off exactly where you shoot them, and it's all realistic. But can you make an entire game out of that? No.
Look at No Man's Sky.
Look at Agony. Yeah. Have you heard, do you guys You hear about that
familiar
one?
with
No.
Agony.
Agony was this game that I was really looking forward to. It takes place in hell, and it started as a Kickstarter. And the video that they had, the vertical slice that they showed, was insane. The graphics were just like, you want to make a game that looks like that? And I didn't believe them, but they did it. Here's the problem. Everything went to the graphics, leaving virtually nothing left for gameplay. Almost, they couldn't do anything else. They couldn't process anything else because the graphics were that amazing. It's a very fancy walking simulator with zero action.
The reason I'm not concerned about this game in particular is because of who's developing it.
That's true. That's true.
This is the same company who's giving away tons of DLC that everyone else charges for. I mean, you get $5.99 charges for costume changes in a lot of developers. They're like, here's all these different DLCs that are free. The only DLCs we're going to charge you for are the size of regular games.
Yeah.
They have single quest lines that are better story than like entire games.
Yes.
It's crazy.
But No Man's Sky was made by the developers of Beautiful Joe. Are you saying you don't trust the developers of
No.
Chris Stanton's got important information.
He does. He says Burden Affinity Wednesday night at 19:04.
It's true, we're playing a show on Wednesday.
I might be able to make that. What time does it start?
It starts at 6. Fuck. But we don't go on until like 8.
Fuck. That's not night. That's evening.
It's a Wednesday, dude.
I got trivia on Wednesdays. I got trivia at 7 o'clock.
Well, come
I
hang
get
out
done at
after.
8. I will. All right. And Jake Lathan has a smiley face with the hearts for the eyes.
Sweet.
Cool. I don't know. I agree. I think we're all on the same page. This is going to be an amazing game. We can trust the developer, but I'll tell you this: if they fuck this up, then they're
done.
They're done forever.
They're done.
I think that they have the potential because right now this game has generated more hype than even like Red Dead. Mm-hmm. This game has generated massive amounts of hype, and as long as they
looks a lot better than Red Dead does.
That's true. But as long as they don't, it's going to sound so redundant, but they don't fuck it up. I think that they could be the next powerhouse. They could be the next Naughty Dog. They could be the next Rockstar. They could. They have this amazing opportunity, and I think that's why there's no release window. There's no release anything. I don't think we're going to know until they know, yes, we can meet this. It's coming out.
Yeah, they've always been a very careful developer. They don't push stuff out early. It is an all-ages show on Wednesday. They take their time to make sure that they do it right. There was huge gaps between Witchers 1, 2, and 3.
That's true.
And look at how much each one improved. That's why I'm not really worried about them.
And
They've done a
they
good job of learning from.
Yeah, and that's what they
made.
say they're doing. They're building on each iteration, which is exactly what Rockstar does. When Rockstar wanted to make Grand Theft Auto 5, they made Max Payne 3 to work on those mechanics. I'm thinking they're making Red Dead to make Grand Theft Auto 6, have better, horseplay.
Phrasing.
Better nature and stuff.
Have you seen the reports that people are saying they played the initial time in Red Dead and said it was really boring?
No, I haven't seen that.
I could imagine that game out of context, just dropped in a field, would be insanely boring.
I think they said it was like the opening hour or something, and it was really
not
really
that long.
It probably is, though. It probably is. I bet you it's a slow build up, and it's getting you used to all the mechanics and stuff, teaching you how to raise them horses, those horses.
Well, the Red Dead Redemption did have a somewhat of a curve to it. Like when you first started, it was difficult to get used to, but then once you nailed it, it was
pretty boring in the beginning.
Yeah.
I can't say who, and no, it's not an uncle, but I can't say who, but I do have a connection with somebody at Rockstar Games, and I can assure you guys that it's going to be amazing.
I'm sure it is. I really liked the Red Dead Redemption. I played it a lot, put a lot of hours into that. But it did have a slow start, so I could see somebody just playing the intro.
Yeah. And that's also probably not true. I mean, I couldn't even get an interview with this person that was unrelated to, even any of Rockstar's games, just because they're so about anybody playing their games before they come out, or even hearing about the games, leaks and whatnot. Now it is time to talk about what we've been playing. I played a lot of games. I played, like I said, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I beat it in 2 days, and I was talking about this with you guys before the episode, and I wanted to bring present this to our audience. This game, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, is a solid 7. It is a fantastic 7. It is such a good 7 that I feel like it deserves an even higher rating just because of how good it is. Now, I'm not saying that I walked away from this game like, oh my god, like, you know, like it was Witcher 3 or Metal Gear Solid 5, you know, or Grand Theft Auto 5, like just walking away from like, oh my god, this game, it's changed my life. Nothing like that. But it was so enjoyable. It's like a Marvel movie. It's just like, you don't go into like, this is the most incredible experience ever, unless it's Infinity War. You walk away from it going, that was a lot of fun. Hell yeah. And the Marvel movies aren't going to win Oscars. That's some of the worst acting you're ever going to fucking see. It's laughable how bad the acting is sometimes. But it's still really fun. And that's what Mirror's Edge Catalyst was to me. And I think more people should play 7s and play games like that. But I wish there was also a way to figure out.
So you know, feel like it was a fun game, but it wasn't like a mind-blowing game. What do you think stepped it back from being, you know, Witcher 3?
It was nothing new. I mean, like the first one I absolutely loved, but it suffered from gameplay mechanics, you know, issues. And this one improved the gameplay mechanics so much. Combat is so much fun. I wish they had guns, but there's no guns. It is such an improvement over the first one, but now it's nothing new. So if this game came out instead of the first game, in place of the first game, this would have been a 10. This would have been, oh my god, this is mind-blowing. We've never seen anything like this before. But now we've got Dying Light, we've got all these other parkour games, and this is just doing the same thing, except a little bit better than all those games have. But it's really good. You know, and the story is, it's okay. I didn't really care about the story. It gets repetitive, sure, but it's enjoyable. You know, I mean, I think that's what really kept it from, you know, being a perfect score. But I mean, one of my favorite games of all time is Dark Sector. You guys ever play that?
No.
Nobody fucking did. Nobody did. It was for the 360. It was like one of the first games that came out for the 360. It's where you had a boomerang, like a clawed boomerang thing. You throw the boomerang at the guys. No, nothing. Nobody's played this game. Scribe, Chris, nobody's played Dark Sector, and it wasn't anything special. It was a 7. So was the Wanted game, based on the movie. That was a 7.
They made a game based on that. It was terrible abortion of a movie.
Fuck off! What?
That movie was awful.
That's not a good movie.
Oh my god! Why? Why? How can you say that?
Why?
Physics.
James McAvoy. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
James McAvoy.
It was the worst movie he's ever been in.
Oh!
Probably also the worst movie that
Chris
everyone
Pratt
else has fucking been in.
Chris Pratt is fucking some chick on the kitchen table. It's so good. It's one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite games.
Angelina Jolie was in there.
I fucking
it was
hate
terrible.
her. Morgan Freeman goes, kill
was in
this
there. It was
motherfucker.
terrible.
It's so good. Anyways, I enjoyed it.
Though
There
there was one really good part when he smacked Chris Pratt in the face with a keyboard and said "fuck you." Yeah, that was good. Everything else was dog shit.
Well, there was a game that came out that was a 7. It wasn't anything new or amazing. It was just okay. It was 7, and I really, really enjoyed it because, and we were saying this earlier, no part of this game, in my opinion, was bad. So it didn't have any gameplay loop or any whatever that I'm like, oh, I hate this. It just didn't have anything special. So, and that's the same thing with the Wanted game. It's, you know, the story, I assume that both of you would probably hate the story then. But none of it was, in my opinion, bad. It's just whatever. And I wish there was a way to figure out stuff like that. There was like a scale for these games to just, like, is there anything bad about it? Is there... Are there terrible bugs that make the game unplayable? Or are there, you know, is the gameplay loop get too difficult at some point and then like get really easy at another point? It's just inconsistent, or I don't know. Like, what makes a game so good without being great?
I think something that's important is something that you said earlier, and that is there's nothing new, right? If we're just doing something that someone else has done, even if we're doing it just fine, but we're not innovating in any way, then it's going to seem somewhat lesser.
True.
Yeah.
True. Anyways, I played that, and I played a little bit of Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and goddamn, these games are so confusing. The tutorial, I'm like on part 4 of the tutorial, and I'm like 2 hours in, and I'm not even halfway through the tutorial.
That's kind of brutal. Mark Mayfield is right. He says Wanted 0 out of 10.
I was just going to ignore that. And I'm getting tired of Dead Cells. I'm going to stop playing Dead Cells. And And Divinity Original Sin 2, I just started that today, and it's
That's a really strong game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good game.
Yeah. I put a lot of time into that game. That was fun.
All right. What are you guys playing?
I've been playing Vampire or Vampire.
Vampire.
I don't
actually.
know how you.
It's
I've seen
anime.
I've seen it both
anime.
ways. You know, people pronounce it both ways. Anyway, I
Let's
just
go.
picked it
Why?
up. I haven't put that much time into it, and so far it's all right. The storyline is interesting so far. The music is fantastic. The setting is really cool. The graphics are okay, but it's really the combat that it really falls short. There's just not enough diversity in the combat, and there's no real mechanics. It's just kind of like try to not get beaten to death with a 2x4 while you're supposed to be some kind of strong vampire, and literally just some dude is beating the shit out of you.
Maybe it's a really strong guy.
No, there's hundreds of them. They're fucking everywhere. They've all got to just be guys, and they're just beating the shit out of you with a club, and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know.
Are there not like vampire powers that you can get?
There are eventually,
Oh.
but you have to like be a cunt to get them.
Oh, that's right. You have to. So, from what I understand, you have to build relationships with people and then
Kill them.
Kill them. To
Yes.
get powers.
Nice.
Just like real life.
Yeah.
So that's a bit frustrating, but you know,
Is it really? Do you find it like? Is the story good enough to where you find it difficult to like go through with
so
that?
far the story is interesting. I mean, I haven't gotten a lot of explanation on a lot of stuff. I'm still kind of going like, what?
Well, I mean,
What's
but
going
like,
on?
have you built up enough relationship with the person to be like, I really like this person, and I don't want to kill them?
There's a lot of people that you don't want to kill. What's harder to find is the people that's like, yeah, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
I got no problems murdering this motherfucker.
And then I imagine too, it'd be difficult to play that and then be nice to him, building up that relationship just so you can kill him. So that's an interesting game mechanic, though.
And then I've been playing a lot of old games lately. Like I went back and replayed Baldur's Gate
Oh shit!
1 and 2, and then I replayed through all of the Dragon Age games.
I did that on one like string, like because Inquisition was coming out. I'm like, I want to play these. Like I want to play Inquisition, but I also want to play the other ones first. So I went through all of them.
It's a lot of Dragon Age.
It is. You know, everybody wants to talk shit about 2. I like 2.
No, 2 is fun. It did a lot to make the combat more fluid and fast paced.
Yeah.
Right? In Origins, you had to really be tactful and pay attention to what you're doing, or you're going to get your ass kicked. That's definitely not going to happen in 2. No, you're
It's
just
like more arcadey. I like that.
yeah. You're like, I'm gonna fuck these people up. And there's nothing they can do about it. So that's fun too. I mean, sometimes it's fun to just kick everybody in the face.
Kick everybody in the face.
Huh.
What have you been playing, Tristan?
So today I picked up this game called Graveyard Keeper.
That's the Valley Stardew Valley.
Yeah, it's like Stardew Valley, except
But-
you are playing like an Undertaker, like Graveyard Keeper.
Facebook ads like really been pushing that on me, like really hard. So is it? I thought it was just like one of those fake games. It's real.
No, it's a real game.
Okay.
Right now I am trying to decide whether I want to get a fake royal stamp or go legitimate and get a real royal stamp so I can stamp the meat that I'm carving from bodies to sell to people to eat.
I'm gonna play this game.
That sounds like fun. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds like so much fun. So what are the consequences between the two?
I don't know of any yet. I assume if I get caught with a fake stamp, it'd probably be bad. But yeah, just kind of got a lot of quirks. There's a donkey that brings the dead bodies, and you can talk to him, and he's a communist. So,
Okay.
so he goes on strike.
Sounds like a
until
really
you, like,
fun-
give him carrots for the dead bodies because he feels like he isn't respected enough.
That sounds like fun.
Where can you play this game?
I got it on Steam. I don't know if it's on consoles, but yeah,
Nice.
it's like $20.
Anything else?
No, just that right now.
In that case, let's move on to video game 20 questions. This is where I picked a random video game, and these two are gonna have 20 yes or no questions to figure out the name of that game. I made chat go away, so we can't see what you're saying right now, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't type in your suggestions into chat and try to help them out. If after 10 questions, if I can find a good question that will help them, then I will take that and I will give that to them for their ears. So start.
You want to go first?
Was this game released on optical media?
I love you. I love you. That's a great question. Yes.
All right. Was this game released after January 1st, 2012?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a newer game.
I thought 13 was the new generation.
Yeah. Well, worked out anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll see.
That would really suck if it was on the cusp. It's like, yeah, 12, but it's last generation.
Shit.
I mean, I've given you enough hints. It's not, but
Okay.
yeah.
See?
Is this an RPG?
Yes.
Ooh.
That's part of it.
That's part.
What?
I mean, it's part RPG, yeah.
Okay.
Part PG?
Part PG.
Okay. Can you play as multiple characters?
No.
Okay.
No. You cannot.
Do you have a squad?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a squad.
Part PG.
Part PG.
Part PG,
Optical
so
media.
You guys are doing really well. You got the time. You got the part PG early.
Yeah, can't play as multiple characters.
Yep.
But you do have a squad.
Okay, so the multiple characters thing. Let's just say kind of you can, but if you focus on that too much, it's really going to confuse you.
Okay.
So, like, technically, I think you do. Yeah, actually, technically you do, but not really. I'll explain later, but I don't want you to come up with a game and be like, okay, well, it's not this because at one point in the game you do this, you know, like or sometimes this happens. So, yeah, I don't want to throw you guys off, and I feel like I'm doing that right now.
Was it an exclusive?
No.
Okay.
Was it part of a series?
Yes. That's 7.
Is it set in the future?
It's unclear. I'm gonna have to give you. What? Oh! It's a spider. Look at that! Look at that! It was just coming down from the ceiling, like that T-Pain song.
It's definitely gonna murder you.
Yeah.
Sorry, audio listeners. Okay, so here's it's futuristic. It's futuristic.
Okay. Is this a Western RPG?
Nope.
Okay. So it's
Spiders.
part PG.
Freaking spiders,
Hmm.
I can't wait for Spider-Man. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
It's coming out in 2 days.
Comes out on Friday.
It's taking everything I have not to just ask you if Miles Jack was down. Somewhat RPG, somewhat futuristic.
Have a squad. Came out recently. Not an exclusive. Part of a series.
That alone. I mean, ask more questions, but
Well,
that
we're gonna
alone,
ask
though.
more questions.
and I would say futuristic. So, you know, I'm just gonna give you a question just to help you out with that because I don't want you to get hung up on it. It does not take place on Earth. So, like, futuristic, but I don't know what time period it takes place. Maybe it says it. I don't know, but I mean, it could be like Star Wars, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I don't know.
All right. Optical media.
Yep.
So.
Do you drive a vehicle?
Yes. That alone.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I think I know what it is.
I have an idea.
Do you want to do the honor? Well, make sure to ask the really specific question before you, because you don't want to just throw it all away.
I don't like my idea though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's more than just somewhat RPG.
No, I didn't say it was somewhat RPG. I said that it's part of it.
That's part of it?
Yeah.
What? What's the difference?
Okay, so like, World of Warcraft is part RPG, part, open, massive multiplayer. I don't know. That's not a good example. Grand Theft Auto is part driving game. It's part of it. And it is a driving game. I mean, there's driving in it, but would you call that a driving game?
No.
Part of it, yeah. If you asked if Grand Theft, is it a driving game? Part of it. But that's also a worse example for what this is. So, like, that's just hurting you. I'm gonna shut up.
What? Okay. Are there chocobos in this game?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Final Fantasy 15.
Yes. Yeah. So it's an open world action role playing game.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was saying. Like, it's not just a straightforward role playing game. It's an action role playing game, and that's the part
Is there
of
not
it.
Turn-based stuff in that? I've never played a Final Fantasy game.
It's not.
turn.
Oh, I thought they were turn-based.
And then also, okay, so here's where I was getting hung up on with the characters. You play as, I forgot his name, the main guy. Oh my God, there's so many things happening in the chat. Nail down the console. There it is. Yeah, Tristan is Spider-Man. Oh, look at that, Tristan, Final Fantasy 15. Okay, so here's where I was getting kind of hung up on with the changing of the characters. When you go into the car, you control the car as it's driving, and that is done by not the main character. So
sometimes.
Oh yeah, sometimes he drives too. But would you? I mean, that's so. If you were to say you only play as, do you switch characters?
Not really.
I mean, kind of, right? I mean,
is the car a character?
Well, no, but the car's not self-driving. It has a driver, but the driver isn't the main character that you normally.
Well, you can give commands to the people in the squad, and so in a way you're controlling them. But
sort of, yeah. But anyways, so yeah, Final Fantasy 15 open world action role playing game, PS4, Xbox One, single player, 2016. That's it.
Yay.
That's it. You guys did it, and I'm so proud of you. How many was that? That was 12. You did it in 12 questions. Way better than Tristan.
Almost 15.
Just like significantly better than Tristan.
Still never going to beat the one from last week. The last one.
That guy was pretty smart. I forgot his name, but man, that's
I've heard that he's
dude.
always right.
He's always right. He's always right. You know what he would say right now? That's the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have new episodes every Monday on iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, and Stitcher. You can watch live all the recordings every Sunday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook.com/GenreFierceGaming, YouTube.com/GenreFierceGaming, or Twitch.tv/DRF Podcasts. You can buy merchandise if you want, but honestly, I haven't updated in forever, so you probably won't want to. But if you change your mind, you're like, yeah, I think I'll buy something. You can do that at teespring.com/DownrightFierce. You can also buy a poster there. I think I'm going to buy a poster one day. Another way you can just give us money is patreon.com/DownrightFierce. Then it just pops up. That is where if you give us a couple bucks a month, you get all of our exclusive content 1 week earlier, like the dad joke video that never came out. I'm so upset about that. I'm gonna release it. I might make that a Patreon exclusive.
as well.
I think that's what I'm gonna do because it was so bad, you guys. My microphone was off. We were drinking a lot of tequila, and it just the jokes were so good though. Anyways, it also gets you thanked at the end of the episode. So we want to thank Mark Mayfield. Thank you, Mark Mayfield.
Thank you.
We also want to thank Tristan Haynes.
Fuck
Wherever
that
you
dude.
are,
Thanks,
you are,
Tristan.
you beautiful, beautiful bastard. We want to thank Brian Altano, Damon Hadfield, and MC Lars for letting us use their music. I want to thank our executive producers, Carolina Jarvis, Brian Kaminsky, and this guy,
Yeah.
Andrew Kirkendall. Seriously, thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
And because you're on this episode, I wanted to play your music video again from your amazing band, Bird and Infinity, which is playing in 1904 on Wednesday night. And if you can't make it to that, make it to my trivia. No, I'm just kidding. No, only go to that. It's all ages. Now,
It's a free show as well.
and it's a free show.
Free
Fuck,
show.
I might just quit my job and just go to that. I wanted to ask a question. I'm curious. Are there any interesting anecdotes you could say about this music video? Like, were you drunk, or was anybody drunk, or did like somebody break their foot or anything that we can watch out for during the video, or was it just?
The only thing is that it was hot as a motherfucker.
That was gonna be my next one. It's really hot. So
Unbelievably
the
hot.
entire time we
It's
can
like
just
100
imagine
degrees
everybody.
that day, and
Oh my
we're
God.
in this warehouse studios. The AC is like it's like a soft breeze from an ice cube across the room.
So
It was
that's
just sweating the entire time. Thomas did a great job. Thomas Crane did the video.
Yeah. I love his music videos.
It was a fantastic job. It was a lot of fun. Nothing too crazy happened. Other than everybody was sweating a whole lot. And just a bunch of fat guys in a room. And then,
Did it smell?
no.
No.
A bunch of
Okay.
fat guys. And then Tony, our guitar player, is the one guy that's like not fat. So he's got that going for him, which is nice.
All right. Well, keep that in mind as you watch this amazing music video from Bird and Infinity. The song is called
The Stand.
The Stand. I wanted to say The Stand, and I was really worried that it wasn't called The Stand, and I didn't want to say the wrong thing. So it's The Stand. And don't forget that they're all very hot and sweaty. Have a good night.
There's a voice inside my head. I won't give up. I won't give in to you. There's a voice inside my head. I won't go back. I'm here forever. And in this moment, I stand
Misanthrope.